I have a new video for you guys because today we're talking about Bob Saget and his inappropriate relationship with the Olsen twins. It has been rumored for years now that Bob did something to these little girls on the set of Full House, and that is some of the trauma that they had to live through. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. After doing some research about him, I found so much disgusting information that we will walk through today. He is an absolute creep, and you're going to learn why. So let's get into it. So I recently made a video about the Olsen twins, and if you guys have not seen that, definitely go check it out. As I was doing research about Mary-Kate and Ashley's life, I started realizing that Bob Saget was a big part of their childhood and early career. If you guys don't recognize Bob Saget, you may recognize him as Danny Tanner from Full House. He's also appeared in the Netflix sequel Fuller House, and you may even recognize him from America's Funniest Home Videos, where he was the host from 1989 through 1997. I find it very interesting that he plays wholesome roles on television and, as the America's Funniest Video host, because he is far from wholesome. He is a very disgusting man, and there's no reason that he should be around children, working with children, or in anyone's home on family television, because he is gross, and you guys are going to understand why. I want to start off with his Comedy Central roast. If you guys aren't familiar, Comedy Central does roast, where they will get an entertainer, a singer, an artist, they will bring them to the stage, and they will have some of that artist's friends or fellow celebrities roast them on camera, and it's all fun and games. Usually the person who's being roasted gets to pick the people who roast them, and it's kind of fun at the end of the day. It's supposed to be lighthearted. Honestly, these events are kind of wild because these celebrities happen to be close with each other, and they know more about each other than the public knows, so they will reveal a little bit of information throughout their roasts about this person that may be embarrassing. As for Bob Saget's roast, his was far from embarrassing and really haunting and gross. It made me realize that these people who were calling him out on some of these things weren't joking. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit from that comedy roast because I want you guys to see what I am talking about. Actually, this first joke from Gilbert Gottfried is something that I can't even really talk about on my channel, but it's something that really does haunt Bob because he was being accused of some very awful things during his roast, and this first one isn't related to the Olsen twins, but he pretty much claims that Bob did something really unforgivable back in the day in 1990, and I'm going to try to play a little bit, but I'll probably have to bleep a couple of words.
First of all, it's not true. It's not true that Bob Saget and the girl in 1990.
Look at him laughing so hard, and if you guys, if those words were unbleeped, you would be mortified. And then Gilbert talks a little bit about Mary-Kate and Ashley.
How do you make an ass hurt? The Olsen twins say, well, Bob Saget hands you a chocolate milk that he just made, and you wake up 3 hours later, lying on your stomach.
Okay, I don't know if you guys caught what was going on there, but pretty much he suggested that, Bob would fix a chocolate milk for these young girls, and they would end up, drinking more than just chocolate milk. And I feel like that's not really a funny joke, and it's weird that they constantly joke about the Olsen twins, like something definitely happened here. I mean, listen to Uncle Jesse talk about it.
Tough gig that must have been, huh? His entire job consisted of saying, "Take a look at this," which is what he used to say to Mary-Kate Olsen in her dressing room.
Look at everyone's face. They're like, oh, no. Because it's not really funny. It's actually just shocking at this point because they are young girls and he is a really gross man, and it seems like everybody knows that and they're just okay with it. Look at what this guy had to say about Bob.
I love him like a uncle who pays for lunch and then follows me into the men's room. That should have been called blackjack because you hit on the Olsens when they were 8. He didn't stop till they were 21.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so not only is he the gross uncle that you don't want around, but he claims that that Bob hit on these girls from 8 to 18, which a bad joke, but honestly, probably younger than 8, which is the worst part of it all.
Is
it true they used to give Mary-Kate acting lessons? You tell her, act like this never happened.
Okay, that, like, oh, God. That actually, like, puts a little knot in my stomach because act like that never happened with Mary-Kate. And you'll notice that there are a lot of jokes in reference to Mary-Kate. Not Ashley, but, like, Mary-Kate. Obviously, both of them. But, like, it seems like Mary-Kate maybe went through it more.
Saget is a sick. He has 2 daughters in college and 3 girlfriends in high school. Most comics dream of performing in Las Vegas, Nevada. Bob Saget dreams of performing in Hannah, Montana.
Okay, so obviously there are a lot of jokes about this man and younger girls, and I don't feel like that's just like that's part of the roast, because I watched the Justin Bieber roast. They never talked about him doing anything with like any young girls, but Bob Saget, every single person has something to say about his relationship, an inappropriate relationship with a minor.
Bob has done a lot for this country. For 8 seasons, half an hour a week, Full House, kept off the street.
I'm gonna bleep that.
In fact, 3 of them were on the show.
Oh. So he said, in fact, 3 of them were on the show, and they actually go and they show some of his castmates, and I find that funny because a lot of people believe that Bob wasn't the only gross one on set. You guys may remember this from my video about the Olsen twins, but in this interview with Ellen, they pretty much bring up the fact that they have a very strong memory of being in the shower with Dave, which obviously isn't Bob Saget, but another guy on the show, and maybe another gross guy according to that roast. This scene may be from the show itself. I don't know. I believe there is a shower scene with the young girl and Dave, but like those Full House veterans will have to let me know because I don't know which episode that actually is.
But we remember small things like being in a shower with Dave.
Even though they're like, okay, let's move past this because why do you have that memory of being in a shower with Dave? You probably shouldn't have that. But it probably was traumatizing to her, especially being around men like Bob Saget because, like I'm telling you guys, he is the absolute worst. Let's watch one more joke from this roast about Bob in relation to the Olsen twins, and then we'll move on to the next story, which is actually insane.
The other day, after all these years, I've never met the Olsen twins. He introduced me to them. I said to him, how do I tell them apart? He says, Ashley swallows.
Oh, God. Like, this is just... Why do I not think this is funny? Look at her. She's laughing so hard. Like, oh, clapping for that. Clapping for that. Because that's so funny that Ashley, the little tiny Olsen twin, swallows. Like, oh, God. Like, these people know Bob very well, and I can tell from this. There's actually a story time that I need to show you guys right now. It's a story that Bob told on a podcast that wasn't able to make it to TV because it is so gross, and it involves a doll. And pretty much, he had to use a fake doll on set as the child, as the twin, to just hold her during the scenes and to act like, you know, it's real. It was a very lifelike doll. And of course, he does something really inappropriate to this doll that makes everyone just so uncomfortable, and he is so confident with it. That's, I think, one of the creepiest parts is that he is so confident with the gross things that he openly says in public. I don't know why, but I'm actually getting upset right now. Like, I just went back and watched a little bit of this before I went to go record it. And usually I don't include these bits in my video, but I am actually so bothered by this man. Like, why does he think that it's okay to do these type of things? And he just, again, says it so confidently, like easy breezy, beautiful creepazoid. So let's go ahead and watch what he has to say here about this doll, this very lifelike doll. And of course, I'll have to cut little bits out of here because of the language he uses. It's just so beyond foul. And of course, YouTube doesn't support this behavior unless you're part of the crew. I don't even want to get into it, but you guys know YouTube protects people who are wrong and inappropriate and disgusting, and they will punish those who call them out. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say about this plastic little doll of an infant that he decides to get physical with.
Instead of Ashley and Mary-Kate, for Michelle, as a 3-year-old kid, they gave me a doll to talk to for rehearsal. a rubber doll, not even plastic, like a test dummy. Like it looked like I was missing the stuff.
Sure.
You know, you ever done that? You ever been with one of those things?
Well, not one that I would hold that would mimic a 4-year-old, but yeah.
Good.
Ew, gosh, gross. Like, ugh.
Ever? Yeah.
Sure. All the kids that were on the show were very young then.
Yeah,
They're like, you know, young. And they were up in their schoolroom or in the trailer. And I was there with just the crew. It was mostly guys, a couple of ladies, but I had the rubber doll. I'm in the bedroom.
Mostly guys, couple of ladies. So of course the guys are gonna love what I do with this 3-year-old doll. Like, is this like what they say locker room talk? Locker room talk, because I don't like locker room talk.
You know, Anthony, the morality play at that show.
The little speech.
Shit, the sizer music comes in, and you start talking, and so there wasn't at that moment, but that was the scene. So I'm in her room, and I'm going, honey, you know.
So he's in the, okay, let me speed it up, because he's in the room, he's holding the doll, he's having a moment with, you know, with the actress, and they are playing out the skit, and he doesn't even really want to be holding the doll, yet it turns out he really, really wants to be holding it, because he goes way further with it.
Can we just read it? Do I have to do this? I went, no, we need it for blocking. Cameras need to see it. I need to see it. So I'm like talking to it, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then I just grabbed it, you know, and I just threw it on the bed, and I just grabbed it, you know, and I just, threw it on the bed. Like, why am I'm so bothered by him, guys, and I think because of how, like, nonchalant everyone is about this, like, they just accept the fact that he just, like, took a U-turn right past the Me Too movement and was able to get past all of this. Pretended, you know, that I was, right, so the crew's watching this, and they're laughing their ass, but I did it kind of slow. I didn't do it, you know, I took my time with it. I didn't want to do anything to offend anybody. At first I was like dancing with it, and then I was like, you know, laying in the bed talking to it. And then it was very lifelike. Wow. What? Come on. That's great. You can cut this out, right? No.
You can cut this out, right? And he's like, oh, God. And you'll notice, actually, I watched a bunch of interviews about this guy, and he constantly refers to himself, and he's like, I am so wrong. I am so gross. What is wrong with me? And he knows what he's doing is wrong. He just continues doing it.
Am I doing?
So one of the moms is a punchline. So one of the moms comes down, and this is all true, and she goes, "You got to stop this right now. This is on the monitors. The kids can see this in the classroom. The kids are watching you do this." And I'm literally I'm just going, you know, like Lenny and Mice and Men.
Oh, God. Yeah. Ugh. What a horrible reference, too. So he's just going in on this play doll that's supposed to be Mary-Kate and Ashley. Mary-Kate and Ashley are watching it go down on a TV screen. Imagine, like, is that supposed to be them? Is that supposed to, like, reflect them? I'm just, like, so grossed out by this. I don't know if you guys are. Maybe I'm just being extra dramatic with it. I'm extra dramatic with everything. But this, I think, is just so wrong. And he's so chill with it. They're all, like, broing it out. And guess what he told to the mother who came and complained?
I'm working. And that was my excuse, was that I'm working.
His excuse is that he's working. Oh, yeah, I'm working with this plastic 3-year-old doll.
You're working. Instead of stopping,
I did stop after she came down.
The monitors.
What classrooms?
They would have
they would have classrooms for the kids to abide by child labor laws, even though I feel like the child labor laws system is just very wonky, and you could really get around it. We actually watched this clip in the Olsen's video, but I want to play a snippet for you guys one more time, because Bob actually released a book a couple years ago, maybe it was like 2014, and he went on a book tour, and during his book tour, he admitted to the person interviewing him that he did some inappropriate acts while on the show.
On the set, and I was also, even when there's kids, like I'm doing book signings, I'm doing one at the 92nd Street Y tonight, and it's difficult if there's kids there. I do stop myself because I am a dad.
Stops himself from, like, being a disgusting, gross man. Like, oh, God.
It's a conflicted thing. So I was on good behavior, but sometimes I did some inappropriate acts.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of the training.
I love how he says, I did some inappropriate acts. Like, he almost couldn't get it out. And then the interview, he's like, okay, let's move on to trainings. And I'm like, why do we just act like this man isn't doing anything wrong when there are so many people accusing him of doing wrong things? I honestly don't even think that he's funny. I think that he just says things that are so like appalling that everyone doesn't know how to react, so they just nervously laugh. I was watching some of the stand-up that Bob has done in the past, and I found some themes that I wanted to bring up to you guys, because I can't actually play any of the clips for you because they are so beyond foul. But there are a few things I noticed when it comes to Bob. One thing is that he loves to make jokes about animals and doing things with animals. He likes to do it in reference to other people, call out people in the crowd and, you know, rag on them for doing things with a goat, or talk about how a dog has done things to him before. And it's just like so gross to think about. And I feel like, again, it's one of those things that people like nervously laugh at because who actually thinks it's funny, especially when he's so real with it. There's a video out there that is very, very haunting titled The Anarchist, and it's a joke that Bob actually told. And I still don't see the joke. I watched it earlier today. It really just made me feel disgusting inside because every other word, there are so many cuss words and just foul language that I can't even include it. But the terminology he uses when he speaks about like these kids and doing physical things to them and just how gross it was, it will completely change how you look at this man. And I actually encourage watching it if you do want to see how gross Bob gets, because like I said, it is so foul, I cannot include it in my video, nor do I even want to. Like, after watching that, I needed to go wash my hands a couple times. I was looking for my cross necklace because I tried to wear my cross today, but like, yeah, I need to pray after that one. He was also just super immature. Like, immature with everything, including just like being a grown man on a television set. Like, he would go and draw male body parts on the scripts. He would draw them everywhere, like a high school boy drawing it on the teacher's chalkboard or whatever. It's just so immature, and like, it's like, who did this? Oh, Bob, you did? Like, gosh. You guys may or may not know that Bob actually wasn't going to play Danny Tanner at first. It was going to be this man named John Posey, but he was a little bit too manic on camera. They actually reshot the pilot without him and replaced him with Bob because he just didn't vibe with everyone else. And to be honest, he really didn't vibe. Like, compared to like the cast they went with, he just didn't fit in with everyone else. But like I mentioned earlier, we don't think that Bob was the only gross man on the set of Full House. He was definitely the most openly gross, but like, there are other little snippets from Full House, the show itself, that show that this environment just kind of supported this behavior all around. This is definitely going to be the messiest clip that we've seen today because it's like a person recording a recording from their iPhone, and it's like a whole mess. But pretty much what goes on in this skit is that he's talking about Michelle. Bob Saget is his character, Danny Tanner, and the way that he talks about like doing things to her is really inappropriate, and we're gonna have to like play back and like I'm gonna have to read it back to you guys. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So they're on the or I don't know if he's on the phone. He's on the phone right here, but he's actually in the room with Danny Tanner, and they are talking about Michelle.
Well, I hope Michelle's feeling a little better. Oh man, it's all my fault.
Okay, so here we go. This is the part that's a little bit icky in everyone's opinion.
Put so much pressure on her, she didn't know whether she was coming or going. When she started, she was just a happy-go-lucky kid. And then I got a hold of her, and I worked her, and I drilled her, and so there was nothing left but just an overworked, over-drilled little hunk of overworked, over-drilled.
Oh gosh, there's the camera, man.
Don't get your shorts in a knot.
So what he says there is that he didn't know if she was, oh gosh, scary. If he was coming or if she was coming or going, and that he just kept like drilling. Did he say drilling or real? Like, he just kept going in on her, and it sounds like it sounds inappropriate.
Just an overworked, over-drilled little hunk of overworked, over-drilled.
Overworked, over-drilled little hunk of overworked, over-drilled. Okay, we need to turn the camera away. And a lot of people think that this part in that episode was a little bit inappropriate when referring to Michelle, because he's over here like just messing with his shorts, and the way that he said that she was like, I don't know, that he did those things to her. Again, that's kind of reading into it some more, but like it is a moment from the show that a lot of people refer to. As far as the other characters on the show, they definitely weren't as bad or creepy as Bob. Like I said earlier, I watched a bunch of his like stand-up comedy and his other things, and honestly, his stuff would not fly today. It's just not funny, and I'm glad that our world is changing in a way, because I don't really like you know, being overly sensitive or calling out every issue. I don't think that's like a fun thing, but I also don't think it's funny to joke about some of these really hurtful things, like some of the jokes that Bob has made in the past. Like joking about these young kids and what they went through isn't funny, and the fact that he's sitting there on stage while they constantly repeat these jokes about Mary-Kate and Ashley, acting like it's totally fine that he had this inappropriate relationship with her, it's just normalizing it. And imagine how Mary-Kate and Ashley felt hearing their name being brought up, and they're just joking about what they could have gone through. It's just like, there's just so much hate there, and I can't imagine Mary-Kate and Ashley feeling comfortable or safe in an environment where this man is being praised and they're over here being shamed. There's a reason why these twins decided not to appear on Fuller House, because I feel like they have some past trauma with the cast that they cannot move past, and honestly, I don't blame them. But this was all kind of theoretical at the end of the day. I mean, we don't know if Bob actually did something to them, but I mean, the fact that a bunch of his friends will get on stage and joke about it and constantly refer to it, and he talks about inappropriate acts and the doll and just like, oh God, like I feel like there's a lot here and people are just trying to steer clear and act like he's not a problem. Nowadays, he's just like doing a podcast on YouTube. He honestly doesn't get that many views. Like, no shade, no tea. I just thought he would have maybe gotten some more. I'm honestly not too sure. But he's just living his best 64-year-old life. And he is praised for the man that he's been. I feel like maybe because he played such wholesome characters on TV and on that show, America's Most Funniest Videos, because I don't understand how people can like disconnect what he says off camera with how he is on camera. Like, you guys need to recognize that this man who is playing wholesome on camera is far from it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want to support my channel, I have merch. It's on Amazon. You guys can go check it out. And I do have a P.O. Box item. Should I open it? I never know if I should open one. I'll go ahead and open a P.O. Box item because I have a few that I need to get through, but let's just open one. So this is from Cindy Coleman. And I actually apologize, Cindy. For some reason, it came open. Like, your package came open. So I remember when I was at the P.O. Box, I got like some stickers to close it. I actually didn't see what's inside, but I hope nothing fell out because it was such a clear, like, opening. It wasn't even a tear. It was the whole thing. So it looks like she's from North Carolina. It didn't even go that far, so I don't know why it broke all up. But thank you so much for sending me this. And if you guys ever want to send me anything to my P.O. Box, I've got my address listed below. But let's go ahead and, ooh, wow, there are a few things in here. Wow. Let's see if there's a card, because I feel like the card is what fell out. Why is there no card? Please, oh my gosh. Watch that be it, because you guys always hear me. It smells so good in here, though. You guys always hear me. I'm like, oh, it's going to be the card. It's going to be the card. That, or is there going to be a card? I don't know. I'm just always anxious because I want to have someone to thank. And I guess I can thank you still, Cindy Coleman. I don't know if you even sent a card. Maybe you didn't. But I'm just paranoid because this package literally came open. So I don't know what else could have fallen out. So I'm really sorry if something did fall out. If it did, please email me so I can, like, we can just connect that way. But, okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Usually I, like, read the note. But note might be missing. It might be lost in transit. So she sent me some, oh, wow, yes. That's where the smell came in. So she sent me a couple of oil, or what are they called? Wax melts. And this one is cedar wood and sage. It smells so good. And this one is pina colada. And oh my gosh, pina colada is actually my favorite drink and favorite scent and just flavor in general. So thank you so much for with these. I love like just having a wax melt on and just smelling it in the home because it smells so good and refreshing. So thank you so much for this, Cindy. Oh, I can't wait to burn them. And then it looks like she sent me, what is this? Oh, fragrance body spray. So it's light blue by oh, so it's like light blue. Okay, it's called Caprese Breeze. Let's see what it smells like. Oh my gosh, that smells really good. Wait, why do I feel like I have a friend who definitely wears this? Oh my gosh, I definitely have a friend who wears this. I need to think about who it is. Aaron? Declan? I'm like, who is this? Okay, so I've got some friends who definitely wear this smell, and it smells so good. I recognize the scent, and it smells just amazing. So thank you so much, Cindy. I'm gonna be smelling fresh out here. And then finally, I have this item, which is what is this? Oh, it's a mineral bath soak. Yes, I actually have a bath in this apartment. My last one I did not, so I'm really happy about that. And oh, it looks like this has a bunch of what is this? Oh, Epsom salt and menthol and lemon and ginger. Oh wow, to uplift my spirit. Oh, thank you so much, Cindy. This definitely did uplift my spirit, and these wax melts and this spray, and I really hope that nothing fell out. I feel really bad about that, but thank you so much for spending the time to put together this little care package and send it my way. It makes me feel really good and special, and I'm really thankful that you took the time to do that. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in a new video soon. Bye guys.